Friday, everyone. Welcome into the News 10 Plus Digital Desk.
Yes, it's Friday.
We are happy.
Very excited.
Here is Rochelle Legrand from Studio 10, and yeah, we're very excited for this Friday.
Yes, we are. We're going to have a very patriotic red, white, and blue Friday,
America.
too. And blackish. Yeah, well, also.
There we go.
We're going to have
I
a
like
good
it.
Friday.
All right.
Great
What's
day.
coming up on Studio 10 today?
Of course, like we said, because it's Friday, we're having 517 Friday. So Sarah Pierce from
true.
517living.com is making sure that you can stay local this weekend with a lot of really, really great events that we have going on. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Plus, we're going to, for the last time, I believe, Love Lansing like a local. But you don't have to stop, but we're going to, I think this is the end of our little series where we are going to a few places. Yeah, but we're checking out Midtown Brewing Company in DeWitt. And DeWitt is a beautiful community.
It is.
You know that strip, that street right there, I love it. So many great places there.
Looking glass. You said Midtown. Looking glass.
I'm just kidding. We're going to, well, you could go there in Lansing, or you could go to Looking Glass Brewing Company. I'm mixing up my Fridays. You know, I get so excited on Fridays that I forget which
It's
Friday
okay.
it is.
Hey, a little funky Friday. That's all
Funky
right.
Friday, that's what it is. And on each of those Fridays, you can go to both of them because they always have beer specials. They've got a lot of great craft beverages that you can head to and take a nice sip of. But that is where we're going. Thank you, Colton. Looking Glass Brewing Company. That's where we're heading to this Friday.
Well, we're excited for it.
Exactly. And then also, you know, we usually save the pets for Tuesday, but we're bringing them back today because Nicole is talking about another area where you can adopt animals and
Okay.
foster them, excuse me.
Oh.
Where you can foster them, so you just take them in for a little while, but it's also helpful if you're not sure if you can really take on that commitment. And you kind of get a feel of like,
Yeah.
okay, what is it like for me to bring an animal home? Can I make a home for them? Think about the expenses that come with them. It's like having a baby, so I hear. I don't have any pets.
I was going to
so
say,
I
it's
hear.
almost like babysitting or nannying because, right,
Yeah.
they're not your kids, but you get the little taste of what it's like.
It's like, do you really want this?
Yeah, do you really want this? And then fostering, same thing. You know, you have them until someone adopts the animal. And so, yeah, you still have the responsibility of taking care of them, but a shorter amount of time.
Shorter amount of time, shorter commitment, and it kind of
Yes.
allows you to get your feet wet.
Yeah, and a lot of shelters were saying how busy and full they get during the summer months. So really helping the shelters out and being a foster parent or something. It's a great thing to do.
It is. So
We actually have one of our interns became a foster parent to a little dog.
Really?
Yes.
Well, which one?
Well, she's not here today.
Today?
Today's the intern's last day too. We'll have
It
a little
is,
picture.
and one of them is getting my 10 out of 10 today. Just saying.
All right.
They all get my 10 out of 10 because they've all been so helpful.
They were
and
so great.
so wonderful. Such positive attitudes when they're here.
You know,
So-
what's today? Friday, of course. Wednesday, some of them, that was their last day, and we were like, we're going to miss them.
No,
summer
don't
go?
remind me. I'm going to start crying. But
10 out of 10 to the interns.
all of them. And also, you know, it's back to school season. So, you
Yes,
know,
it is.
backpacks are at the top of everyone's list. They are hard to get and find these days.
They're
but when
expensive, too.
Very much. And now
Yeah.
I'm starting to remember why I had one backpack for quite some time.
My mom's like, nope, this one's durable. Keep using it. And I was like, but I want the other backpack. She's like, no. you're
No,
sticking
it
with
was
this
one. You're sticking with this one until it's worn out. And sometimes, you know, try to wear it out. Did you ever have one
Did
of
you
those
drag it on the
rolly?
ground?
Yes, we had the wheelie backpacks.
Those were fun. And that made it easier. Well, sometimes
I
they
had
were
to
a
convince
struggle.
my mom so hard to get me a wheelie backpack because everyone had it. And then the wheels were coming off, and
what
I
the cool
dragged
kids
that thing
had.
up and down the steps. Yeah, I tried hard to be a cool kid. It didn't work out.
Didn't work out.
I think I'm a cool adult. But as a
There we
kid,
go. Glow up.
Exactly. But we are helping students as well. We're talking
younger
about
Rochelle would be
organizations.
proud.
I would.
There you go.
I would. But we're
Sorry, I threw you off.
we're talking about another business that's helping other students in the area get those supplies that they need. So,
Oh,
So,
that's so nice.
what do we say? A funky Friday, a happy Friday,
Friday.
a giving Friday. All of the above.
Whatever you want this Friday to be, make it good. There you go.
Good, that's right.
All right. Well, you
Make
can
it
catch
great.
more on Studio 10. Of course, coming up at 3 o'clock today. Here is their website, their Instagram, as well as their email. Rochelle, thank you, as always, for being here. We love you so much. And Rochelle was saying it is one of the last 517, live like a local. There we go. Woo, tongue twister. So if you ever want to check back on anything that they've worked on, of course you can always go to at WILX Studio 10 on their YouTube page and hit subscribe if you have not done so already. But we are seeing pretty beautiful temperatures this week. You can't complain, especially after we had the rain on Thursday.
No, we're going to be getting into a very nice stretch of weather. We are going to be talking about some heat, though. Looks like we'll be getting back up into the upper 80s by the second half of the weekend, but I still expect us to see some really pleasant weather. And, this is one of the final weeks of summer for a lot of people. Back to school season is upon us. MSU goes back soon. So I think we're going to see some really nice weather as we wrap up the summer season for some people over the next couple of days. Let's show you a look at our MSU Skycam, and you can see we just have a few puffy clouds out there right now, but it's been a gorgeous day so far, and it will stay that way. Temperatures have warmed up nicely into the upper 60s and lower 70s. This is about 10 degrees below average for this time of year, so this is a taste of fall almost as we are out there today. It's just feeling very refreshing to be outside. I went for a walk earlier, and it was so nice. I just loved it.
I was out this morning.
Yeah.
And, I wasn't here for News 10 today at 11. Had a little physical. Gotta get your physicals, too, before the school year. And, I went outside at first with shorts, and I was like, oh, no, it's too cold.
Yeah.
Went back in, I was like, it feels like fall.
Yeah, it was a little cool out there this morning. And, if you're going to be heading to tonight's Lugnuts game, fantastic weather. You're not going to be sitting out there and just sweating like sometimes can happen at any baseball game. But we'll have temperatures tonight in the 70s, falling into the 60s by the time the game wraps up. But we'll stay dry. We'll see some sunshine, just a few clouds. But I want to show you this. Now, this is going to be the expected low temperatures for tonight. Look at these numbers.
Ooh,
Upper 40s are on the map and lower 50s. Now, I put the low for Lansing at 51. We'll see. It may drop down a little bit cooler than that.
Don't tell me that.
But I did go back and look. The last time Lansing saw a low temperature in the 40s was on June 14th.
It's been a minute.
So it's been more than 2 months since we've seen temperatures in the 40s in some spots. So it is going to be a chilly start to the day tomorrow. Something to keep in mind if you have any early Saturday morning plans. But we are going to heat up nicely throughout the day, and we should see temperatures climbing up into the 80s. But I will say wildfire smoke will be a thing tomorrow. We'll likely see that in the sky.
Okay, any air quality alerts?
Not at this point,
no.
nope. So it looks like it's going to stay pretty aloft in that sky, just making it looking a little hazy into the day tomorrow. But I don't think it lasts long. I think by Sunday it should be out here. But look at the high on Sunday, 89.
Flirting with the 90s.
Yeah, so one thing we'll be tracking on Sunday is the possibility of seeing a backdoor cold front come in. So that's a cold front that comes in from the northeast. Depending on when that arrives, that'll be key. If it holds off a little bit later, we may get to 90. If it comes in a little bit earlier, we may be cooler than that. So it's something we'll be keeping an eye on Sunday. But Sunday does look like it's a warmer day nonetheless. Now, looking at satellite radar here currently, we have a low pressure system to our northwest. Clear skies across our area, and it's going to stay that way throughout the rest of the day. So really no weather-related issues to speak of as we head into this weekend. In fact, here it is. No chance for rain anywhere in the forecast. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday.
0 is all I'm seeing.
Yeah, zeros across the board, so no rain coming. We may be talking about some rain chances into next week eventually, but some things a little uncertain when it comes to the forecast for next week. And I'll show you the high temperature trend. It does look like that Monday and Tuesday now appear to be a little bit cooler because of that cold front that's going to come in later on Sunday.
Yeah.
We may be stuck in some of that cooler air for a couple of days, and then we'll see the warm air return Wednesday into Thursday. I will say, and you heard me talking about this, I'm not going to say how high some of our models go for
We
Thursday.
gotta wait on that.
Yeah, so we need to keep an eye on it. It gets very tricky. This reminds me of a weather pattern we saw earlier in the summer where we get a big ridge of high pressure, and some of our models keep us close to the edge of that ridge. So if we are beneath it, we're going to see really warm temperatures. But if we're just a little bit not beneath it, above it, we may not see as warm of temperatures.
Okay.
So that's going to be the determining factor as we head into the end of next week. Some of our models want to get us pretty toasty around here by Wednesday and Thursday. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. I put 88 for Thursday, and it does look like that will cool down either way heading into the weekend. Temperatures back in the 70s. So we'll have some time to watch that, but don't be surprised if you see some changes with these numbers in the coming days because we could see some big changes to the forecast. It actually is complicated by the hurricane over in the Eastern Pacific.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
so Hurricane Hillary, which is making a lot of national news, is forecast to move up into California, and then it kind of gets absorbed into the weather pattern, but sometimes that can change things a little bit, and computer models go crazy when it happens and don't know what to do. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. It just kind of complicates it, and I always say that all weather is connected, and that's a perfect example. A hurricane that's off the coast of Mexico in the Pacific Ocean may play some role in how warm we get next week. So
a domino effect over
it
there.
is, yeah. So we'll keep an eye on it right now. Just know that it does look like we're going to be sticking with the heat through most of next week. upper 80s by the time we get towards Thursday.
All right, sounds good, Colton. Yeah, we will make sure to definitely keep an eye on that. And one way to do that, we'll bring it up again. If you don't have it right now, you will soon. It is the first Alert Weather app.
Yeah, that's right. And I'll post an update here shortly as soon as I get back down there. If I have time, hope I have time, to post an update in the app here because it is very useful. And we put a lot of information in there that's great. And especially if you're traveling up north for the weekend, you'll have some nice conditions for that as well. And so you can actually use it no matter where you're at. So it's about as useful as you can get. Video updates, radar, all those things that you can need. And the best part of it is that it's free. You just search WILX weather in your App Store or Google Play Store.
Oh, that is not working.
Oh,
and that's not working now. We'll just come back out to us. I don't know what happened.
Oh, and then there was a flash that was just all right.
It is a funky Friday. I don't know what's happening over here.
It's just ready to go for the weekend, I think.
It is. It's like, I want to go to bed. Yeah. Well, okay, First Alert Weather app. Make sure you download that. Stay up to date with the changing forecast. With the hot weather next week. Thank you, Colton.
Yes.
We also want to share what's coming up during First at 4 and our 90 minutes of news today. So starting with Mid-Michigan Matters, we have been talking about AI, artificial intelligence. So as we continue to talk about back to school, MSU, Michigan State University, is leading a research grant for AI reliability and transparency. We're actually bringing in someone from the university to talk about what this means, what the grant is going to do, and how AI is going to play a role in the upcoming school year. Then News 10 at 5, we take a look at a house you can own for just $1. I will say that again, $1. That is 100 pennies. $1. That's 10 dimes, 20 nickels, and again, 100 pennies. $1, Justin. What do you think?
That's a pretty sweet deal. I wouldn't mind picking up a house for $1.
No, I think that's 4 gumballs right there.
Right?
4 gumballs or a house for $1. I think that's
You got to sell those Pokemon cards. Get yourself a house, right?
Go. The Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
News 10 at 5:30. A possible harmful algae bloom was found in a lake, so we will tell you where to look out for that. And at 6 p.m., wheel locks are being given away, so we'll share why and where you can get one should you need it. We do have our reporters out in the field, but first, we have Justin Kent right here. First, we're going to send it to our reporters, and then, Justin, we will talk to you in just a second here. All right, here we go.
Hi Taylor, it's Friday and the Millen Festival in Howell is kicking off tonight. I stopped by to talk to the organizer of the event to see what they have in store for this year's celebration. Also, a bat with rabies was found in a home in Howell. I'm talking to a bat expert about what you should do if you have a bat in your home. Catch both stories today on News 10 at 5:30.
I'm Erin Bowling, and today I'm here at Alive in Eaton County, where they just had their grand opening of the Baby Cafe. Now, the Baby Cafe is a support group for breastfeeding, but it also comes with a lot of other benefits. I talked to some moms who have benefited from their other locations today, and I'll have their story on News 10 at 6.
14 of the 16 Michigan Republicans allegedly involved in the fake elector scheme are appearing in the Ingham County courtroom today. I'll have more on that story starting in our 90.
All right, thank you, Tanaya, Aaron, and Amaya for sharing what you have coming up during our 90 minutes of news. And right now we have Justin Kent here to also share what he has coming up during our 90 minutes of news today. Ethan Crumbly being back in court.
Back in court, yeah. It was kind of a pretty big day. This is the final day of the Miller hearing, and that's the hearing that's going to determine whether or not he spends life in prison without the possibility of parole. The last witness to take the stand was Dr. Lisa Anaker. She talked a little bit about how she doesn't believe Ethan suffers from a severe mental illness. This, of course, goes kind of along with the prosecution. They're saying that he is someone who cannot be rehabilitated. If he went with an undiagnosed mental illness, like the defense is arguing, he could be treated and then maybe paroled. They're arguing the opposite. The defense really leaned in on those closing arguments, saying that the ball could be in his court, that he would have to showcase that. And just because he was available for a possibility of parole doesn't mean he necessarily gets it. He would have the opportunity to kind of showcase that he has been reformed. The prosecuting attorney really argued against it. They said that this is one of those rare cases where a juvenile should be sentenced without the possibility of parole, and they should throw away the key, saying that everything was so premeditated that he really went through the steps to kind of plan this thing out, go into the gun range, writing all of those things in his journal, making sure that he was still alive to see the horrible outcome of his crime. So Yeah, kind of an emotional day. Definitely some tears were shed in court, but the judge, they kind of closed things up, and they said that hopefully later on, 35 to 45 days, they should have a decision from the judge.
Okay, and yeah, you said heavy emotion in the courtroom.
Yeah.
Was anyone else speaking during this time?
No, it was really just the closing arguments, and they kind of, like I said, that last witness to kind of close things out. The parents, they were there. They had to hear a couple more details of exactly the time frames and how many people were shot. It's kind of shocking. It was 36 shots were fired that day. So, yeah, definitely a hard thing for the parents to have to listen to. And obviously, they're there hoping that this young man does not get an opportunity to ever see the light of day again. So, we'll see.
Justin, thank you again. And yes, this was, again, Ethan Crumbly back in court today. Justin will have more coming up. And when will we have this in our later newscasts?
We should be in the 5 o'clock slot.
All right, News 10 at 5. Make sure you tune in. Thank you, Justin. We are now going to bring in Riley Connell to talk about what also she is working on for this afternoon. And, oh, I'm a little bit taller than you right now. That is okay. I'm on my box. How are you, though, Riley?
I'm good. How are you? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. And what will you be working on that you can tell everyone?
Well, today I'm talking a little bit about some advertising campaigns for the state of Michigan.
Okay.
So these ads are coming from the Michigan Economic Development Corporation.
That's a big name.
Yes, which it's partially funded by the state, partially a sort of a lobbying or publicly funded firm as well. So they're putting together this campaign that rather than, highlighting some of these tourist attractions that we have in Michigan, it's common to see in the Pure Michigan ad campaign.
Yep.
Everybody's seen that one on TV. This is a little bit different. They're kind of highlighting some of our legislative decisions in Michigan as a way, to pull more workers into the state. So they're talking about things like reproductive rights. They're talking about being an LGBTQ plus community safe state. These are some of these, things that are geared in these ads in hopes that they can pull people from some more, conservative-led states like Florida and Georgia to come to Michigan and live and work here. So that is the whole goal of this campaign. So I'm breaking that down for people a little bit, talking to the Economic Development Corporation, and pretty shortly here I'm going to go talk to some of our lawmakers to find out what they think about this advertising campaign and get a little bit of reaction from them as well.
So we'll be hearing from the lawmakers on this later today. And Riley, what time will you have that coming up?
I'm going to have that coming up on News 10 at 6.
All right, sounds good. Anything else you want to add before we go here?
No, I just think it's pretty interesting. I've never seen an advertising campaign like this, and I think it is maybe a new way that states are going to, start representing themselves to people is by, putting their legislative choices first. We live in a pretty political world these days, too, so it seems like the next step for a lot of states, too. We've had other states advertise in our state as well to try to pull people down to Ohio and pull people down to Florida. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about that, too, and kind of comparing Michigan's situation to those states. So I think it'll be very interesting. So
it is interesting to see how they kind of cross over into the different, state boundaries.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Riley, hope you have a great rest of your Friday and talking to the lawmakers. And we hope the rest of you also have a great rest of your Friday.
Yes.
Woo! All right. We will see you for Studio 10 and First at 4 and then our 90 minutes of news. Have a great Friday, everyone.